is that? Does it have any value? Is it backed by gold? Is it backed by a government? What is it? It's nothing. But it's valuable. It's what you think it is. Well, how advanced is that idea? It is what you think it is. And if enough people think it's something, then it is.
I think regulation is going to have to come from Congress. I do not see a sufficient will by the SEC to seriously consider the challenges of these issues within their legacy framework.
You were perhaps one of the first who said, wait, I'm just going to give up everything and I'm going to make my organization decentralized because regulation is not clear and it's not likely to be. So that's the way to go forward. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually don't like the platitude of regulatory clarity. Okay. Everyone says that. I just want less regulation. Okay. Just like straight less would be great. I don't care how clear it is, I just want less of it.
The ledger systems that our traditional financial system run on, both in the banking system and in the securities system, are not honest ledgers.
When we talk to governments, that they don't want to miss the Web3 train.
Wow.
There is a conversation around how, when you think about the rest of the world, with the exception of the US and to some extent China, they really have become effectively colonized by American Web2 technologies. Everything is dependent on whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Amazon, whatever. They have absolutely no more sort of tech sovereignty in their own countries and nations. So when you see governments saying we want to have a Web3 strategy, it isn't just because they look at the entrepreneurial activity. It's that they want to unshackle themselves from the dependency of US technology.
If we have to go to court to get that clarity, it's unfortunate. It does reflect in many ways a failure of our legislative and regulatory process, but Coinbase is prepared to put the resources and time and energy into that.
Great businesses are built over 4, 5, 10, 20 years, not 6 or 8 months. And so to judge a technology or a founding team based on 3, 6, 8 months a year, I think is premature.
That's the ask that I would have of you. Help us make the use case for digital assets. Furthermore, you're innovating so fast that policymakers can't keep up.
Right.
And we need to know what effects our legislative framework will have on your ability to continue to innovate here in the United States.
The Fed is very data-driven. They're saying we're not going to lower rates by the end of the year. The market's fighting the Fed. The market thinks rates are going to drop 50 basis points by the end of 2023. Right. I do not think that's the case. Right. I think you'll see rates raised and then stay at that level for a while.
How can we make sure that the dollar in the age of the internet is safer and more competitive?
Tokenized securities don't yet have a venue to launch on.
I think a lot of the bigger companies are betting on some AR glasses, right? Not VR headset, some augmented reality glasses, or some other type of wearable.
So much is happening under the watch of the regulators. Yeah. So, and I think it can be, as we say in the law, both over-inclusive and under-inclusive. Over-inclusive because there's casting this wide net, catching not only people who may be doing nefarious activity, and we don't want them in this space, we want them out like yesterday, right? But it's also catching up a lot of legitimate businesses that just want to know what the rules of engagement are, even if they're difficult, so at least they know what they're doing.
At first, I couldn't even give them away for free. A lot of the Bitcoin collectors were not interested on anything with Ethereum.
If you believe my friend Ray Kurzweil, who wrote the book The Singularity is Near, he predicted we're going to get AIs as smart as people by 2029.
So former President Trump announced the release of Series 2 of his NFT collection. Right. And I just want to get your opinion on what this means for upcoming elections and NFTs. Do you think we're going to see...
I want President Trump to make so much money that he drops out of the race. You know, I was hoping that stupid SPAC that he had was going to go to the moon. And I want those NFTs to make him so much money that he's like, okay, I don't want to be in politics anymore. That's my dream for President Trump.
This one is for Lefty. Lefty, what is your favorite coin? Is Lefty a maxi of any variety?
Yeah, Lefty's anti-Doge.
Okay.
Oh no. Regulation is one thing, but the pace at which innovation is happening is another thing, which makes it always very, very hard for regulators to catch up with innovation. And it's not the regulator's fault, and it's not the legislator's fault. It's just like the way of technology.
With any new technologies, we have a lot of kind of
same people over and over and over benefiting from that. And how do you think about making sure that with Web3, with metaverse, we actually have the more decentralized and democratic access to the upside?
Right now, it's people solving problems for a very specific group of people, but I think it's just a timing thing. One thing that I'm very excited for that's different than the adoption of technology prior, whether it was like the adoption of the internet, you had to have a lot of capital to participate in the .com boom. But in this one, it's more so you need a smartphone and you can get access.
Most Bitcoiners would agree Bitcoin has made a series of trade-offs. All blockchains make a series of trade-offs in how they operate. Proof of work versus proof of stake, their monetary policy, their governance mechanisms. All of these lead to different consequences on how the protocol works long term.
This opens up the design layer like massively in a way that hasn't really been explored, as far as I'm aware, on Bitcoin in a long time.
Lastly, I'll say banning commingling. We should not be banning customer assets with exchange assets or company assets. This is something I've been speaking about for a very long time, and just saying, you know, this is an area that it just should not even be on the table. Please don't wait for regulation. Just do it. It's just bad for customers. You're going to increase your run risk. It's just a terrible way of doing business.
I think what Coinbase recognized, which is what a lot of other companies have recognized, is that we have a superior regulatory environment. So I think that we'll see more and more, because it is, as I've said, a race to the top for regulation, and Bermuda has proven that we are a place that you can do that.
My question is, why does Jerome Powell hate America so much? Okay, Jerome Powell. That's my question, is why, like, he must hate America so much because he has run the entire economy into the ground in a way that'll be obvious to everybody. Fundamentally, what happened, and the reason I'm saying that is pointing out that the building is burning, pointing out that the pilot has crashed the plane, that the captain has crashed the ship, and that you might want to get to the parachutes or get to the lifeboats. That is not the same thing as being the pilot, right? Jerome Powell is the pilot. The pilot has crashed the plane.
Everybody within the IRS, we feel, and I would think you would all agree, need to know something about crypto, virtual currency, or digital assets. So what we're trying to do is ensure that we understand each of their roles.
We are at the core a great storytelling company that engages content creators and community. This is not a winner-take-all environment. This is a true transformation that is happening across the entertainment industry.
And no matter what happens with our regulation and our government, the value proposition of being able to prove ownership of a digital asset cannot and will not change. And we need to continue to celebrate that and understand that all of these other things are built on top of that, and they're additive.
Really great movie out right now called Air. We came out of the movie going, that was the most Web3 movie ever, because Jordan's mom insisted that Michael got a cut of every shoe moving forward. It was transformative, not just for shoe endorsement deals, but for how all people were looking at the relationships between companies and consumers.
We're going to have public hearings for the next couple of months and build out a bill that deal out of the Ag Committee, now the Financial Services Committee, that does what is necessary for bringing clarity to digital assets.
Let's be clear, absolutely clear, there is nothing inherently superior about non-sovereign digital currency in protecting privacy over central bank digital currency. Nothing whatsoever. Both of them will be massive honeypots of users' financial data, creating the opportunity for wide-scale mischief and abuse.
And this is the first time I've ever seen that our industry was brought into what some people consider to be a bear market by the macroeconomy.
And the bear markets are when we are supposed to introspect. This is the time to say, okay, what did we learn? The bear markets are not over until we realize what mistakes we made in the night before.
So the next 6 to 9 months are going to be difficult because there is probably going to need to be, a few startups are probably going to die because right now they are doing stuff for free in Web3, and they're not going to survive very long.
Not a lot of people know that NFTs actually started on Bitcoin, like through counterparty
People are shocked to realize that, right? Like most people associate NFTs with Ethereum.
Well, we want to appease the audience, and fans definitely have their say. They know what at least they think they know what they want. But what is great, because like you said, a lot of times you say with fan fiction, this is really a way to have the fans say like, well, we are curious. We are interested to see which direction you want this to go.
Desi, is AI going to take our jobs?
Certainly yours. I don't know about mine.
I'm not sure if I will take our jobs, but I can tell you one thing for sure. I will continue to redefine how we live, think, and interact with the world. It's an exciting time to be alive and witness the amazing changes AI will bring.